Now then, guys, Quinn's Dude here, back on the Rad Music Chat channel. Thanks for joining me. Please don't forget to smash a like on the video, and if you're new here, please subscribe as well so that you'll know whenever I upload new content. On today's video, we are jumping back into the 1001 Albums You Must Hear Before You Die book. But before I reveal which album today, just a quick shout out to PMX for the awesome intro music, and also to Element 9 Graphics for all the little touches and logos and branding that make the videos look really cool. So links to PMX and Element 9 down below. The album that we're looking at is from 2017, and it's by Lorde, and it's her second album, Melodrama. This album really quickly became very special to a lot of people, and it pretty much became an instant classic. Lorde, real name Ella Yellick O'Connor, hails from New Zealand. This is her Melodrama is her second album, and it's worth noting that at the time of recording, she was only 19 years old. I must admit that it has been a very long time since I can remember finding an album review as difficult as this one. First listen, I really disliked it. It just left me so cold. Second listen, I heard things that I really did like while still hearing things I didn't like. Third listen, I decided that actually I really like it all. Fourth listen, I decided I didn't like any of it again. And then subsequent listens have just left me feeling so confused. Quick bit of background on this album. So as I said earlier, this is Lorde's second album. Her first one came out in 2013 and was a bit of a surprise hit, selling 3 million copies. So there was a real huge amount of expectation and anticipation for Melodrama. What I did learn was that Melodrama was very different from the debut, and this time round she teamed up with the ubiquitous Jack Antonoff to co-write and produce Melodrama. Jack Antonoff is basically the biggest contemporary pop producer and co-writer around at the moment, and if you look at the list of people he's been working with over the last few years, it's a veritable who's who in pop music, including working with Taylor Swift. In regards to the album itself, it's a loose concept through it. Some people have said it's a breakup album, and some people have said it's an album about growing up. Lorde herself has actually said that it's about all the aspects of partying. The album kicks off with Green Light, which was actually the first single from the album. Green Light is a really enjoyable, jaunty pop song that has a great housey piano hook, and it's a great way to start the album. We then go into Sober, which was one of the tracks that left me really confused and conflicted about this album. On certain rotations it was almost my favorite, and then other rotations it just kind of got on my nerves. We have another couple of tracks that I never really enjoyed, one of them being The Louvre, which seems to be one of the most popular tracks on there, and I just don't understand why. It just doesn't go anywhere for me. It's not until we get to track 5, Liability, which is stripped right back. It's a really pretty song, and it's just Lorde's voice and a piano, and this is her at her most vulnerable. What I love about Liability is it's so in the moment, and it just sounds so real, and she's not using any of the affectations on her vocals like she does so much. And that's really the crux of what bothers me about her delivery. So it just feels like so often she's not singing in her real voice. Now I could be completely wrong on that, but it's just the way it comes across, and it makes it feel less authentic to me, which I know is going to raise a lot of eyebrows, because I think one of the things that really connects with people with Lorde's music is how authentic they feel she is. But I just wasn't. I feel like even if she is, which I'm sure she is, she's kind of doing, for me, her music and her lyrics, which are really great, a disservice by putting all this kind of it's almost like she's trying really hard to be cool a lot of the time. I mean, a perfect example is the last track, which is probably my favorite after Liability. Because again, it's just her singing with no affectations on her voice. Yeah, so Perfect Places is such such an anthemic song and a great way to, I'm glad that it's the last song of the album, because it doesn't leave me with those negative thoughts, going out with that. Perfect Places sounds like a sort of more modern take on something that would have been on Madonna's Like a Prayer album. There's also the track that I want to mention, which is Writer in the Dark, which is I just feel like if she hadn't if she'd have sung it the way that she sings Liability and Green Light and Perfect Places, it would have been an absolutely brilliant track, because the mood is superb, and really suits the lyrics as well. But I just feel like she kind of just cheapens it with that kind of other voice that she sometimes uses. I get it. I really do get it, and I understand why people feel such a connection with Lorde and her music. There's just certain things that I can't see past, and that's what it's about. It's, again, how many times do we say that music is subjective? I have been told to check out the debut and also the third album, Solar Power, which came out last year. So I've heard enough from this that I'm definitely going to spend the time doing that. I think something that's really profound about this album is the fact that this was a 19-year-old that made this album, and 2 years previously she'd put out an album and there wasn't much expectations on it at all, and it went on to sell millions and connect with so many people. So with that in mind, it's a really interesting listen, and her storytelling is really endearing. So guys, that's it. Thank you again. As always, I do encourage you. That's the whole reason I started the channel, was to talk music. So let me know if you think I'm full of crap, or if you can understand my views, or just whatever your take is on it, and maybe you're an absolutely huge fan. So I look forward to hearing from you. Please like and subscribe, and yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Stay rad.